What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Going to Fish. I'm Jamal. Thank you so much for your likes. Thank you so much for your comments and your support with this page. We're almost there. We are getting there. We are almost to 500 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed, go ahead and consider doing so. In this video, we're going to be talking about my puffer fish. Yeah, we're talking about my Fahaka, my green spotted, my figure eight, my Amazon, and my pea puffer fish. And we're going to be waking them up and getting them ready for the day. And I'm going to be introducing them to you. And we're also going to have a feeding, so you'll want to stick around for that. This is Gizmo the Haka, and I've had him for a little over a year. I think more so going on 2 years now, and he has grown to be really quite the size, and he's not done growing yet. I originally bought 3 of them and hoped that they could live together, but that did not work out, and Gizmo was the ultimate Fahaka who survived amongst his other peers, other family members, whoever they were. Gizmo was the one who survived. And so he is right now in a 75-gallon tank, which for now is okay in size. I do plan on getting him a larger tank, somewhere around a 120-gallon. But for now, Gizmo is doing quite well. He likes to hang out at the top, especially when he sees me kind of hanging around the aquarium, or he sees the parrot cichlids that are next to his tank come over to the same side as him and just kind of say hello, I guess. I don't know, it's fish talk, maybe, I don't know. But either way, Gizmo has been quite the fish to take care of. I mean, he has an amazing personality. As you saw at the beginning of this intro to him, he was trying to take my finger off, but when I do stick my hand, which is rarely, in the aquarium, there is no aggression. He doesn't try to bite me. He is very curious as to, you know, whether or not I'm giving him food, and I think that's what he was more so aiming at, maybe thinking that my finger was a worm or something. I don't know. This tank setup has been up for about a little past a year. He's been in this aquarium a little past a year, and it's worked out, like I said, beautifully. And I love this little tank setup right now, although it is really basic, yeah. But I really wanted him to just have more room to swim around versus like hiding. I did keep that log that's at the bottom of the aquarium in the aquarium just so he would have some place to hide. But ultimately, I wanted this to be, you know, a really open aquarium for him to just kind of swim and enjoy himself. And then the leaves he can kind of hide behind. And a lot of times he just rests at the bottom of the aquarium. So, you know, he's already dug out his little path of where he sleeps or where he rests. And that's his little path. You know, of course, the whole aquarium is his, but I've found that, you know, he enjoys himself in this aquarium. There was one time where he did jump out of the aquarium. He got spooked, he puffed up, and that was quite the story for me and for him, I'm sure. So I ended up putting the glass tops on. I had them off, I didn't have them on. But I ended up putting the glass tops back on, and that has not since happened. So if you do have a Fahaka or any fish, you know, that are small. And especially, you know, for me, I keep the water to the rim of the trimming around the aquarium, right? So I keep it basically up to this black bar, and fish that I have in my other tanks have jumped out because either the water has been too high and they're able to jump out, or I don't have the lid on top and they jump out that way, like, you know, closer toward the hang on the back filters. So Gizmo likes his temperature around 82, 83 degrees, which is really, really, you know, tropical. Well, if you are enjoying this content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also that like and that bell notification icon so you'll know every time I post a new video. Listen, we're trying to get to 500 subscribers, so if you've not subscribed, go ahead and consider doing so. These guys love their water temperatures to be, you know, very comfortable, very warm. I really wanted to keep his tank simple and keep his temperature right, keep the water clean, and keep it, you know, flowing. I do have some water blowers in there just to keep the water going. But Gizmo, I think, likes his enclosure here. He has nothing to say that's negative. And if he does, I think he would maybe hang out at the bottom, or he just wouldn't be as active as he is now, or that he has always been since I opened him up from that bag. So this is Gizmo, everybody. Now there are also a number of other videos about Gizmo that you can check out, like this one and this one, but also this one. There's also one that I talk about where Gizmo was actually bitten up by other fish that were in his tank, and I talk you through how I was able to bring him back to good health. So make sure you check out those videos. So in this tank are my green spotted puffers as well as my figure 8 puffers. And there are a total of 6 of these guys in the tank. So there are a total of 3 figure 8s and 3 green spotted puffer fish. And these are brackish water fish. So this whole tank setup is brackish water. These fish grow pretty fast. I remember when I first got the green spotted puffers about maybe 6 or 7 months ago, they were really small, and now they've grown at least, you know, an inch or so, probably more than that, in just those recent months. So that lets me know that they are eating well. Some of them are almost as big as the figure 8s, surprisingly. So I have a ton of videos about these guys also on my channel that you can check out, like this one, and also this one. And it really gives a great breakdown. All of them really gives great breakdowns of just how I've been able to just maintain the tanks, how much, you know, ocean sea salt I need to put in the tank, how much I'm able to, you know, balance out, and all that great stuff are in those videos. So make sure that you check those videos out. I love these guys. They're so peaceful. They're very attentive to you. Again, these are brackish fish, so they need a little bit of that salt in the aquarium for them to really thrive. And the place that I got them from actually already had them in brackish water. And they wanted to make sure that my tank was set up properly before they sold the fish to me. and I had to balance out the brackish before I could bring the fish home. And they have been thriving ever since. I did lose one of my figure eights recently though. So a moment of silence for one of my figure eights that jumped out of the tank. You know, losing fish is like, you know, losing friends. It really is. Because you've raised the fish up. Kind of depends on how long you've had the fish. And I guess that's just, you know, the life of fish keeping. Is you're going to lose some. And you can either buy some more or just thrive with what you have. And here lately, I've just been kind of thriving with what I've had. Because, I mean, I bought all of my fish basically in bulk and kind of like beefed up the tanks, overstocked. So when they fall out, there's still, you know, a decent amount of fish in the tank, which is great. But I do want to get some more green spotted puffers and also some figure eight puffers just because they're so cool and they are not aggressive toward each other. And, you know, I enjoy watching them. They enjoy watching me. I enjoy watching them. The temperature is the same thing, kind of like around the Fahaka puffers temperature, to where it's like, you know, maybe 82, 83 degrees because they love warm water. And so I try to make sure that their water is warm and that they are thriving, you know. This tank does have a sponge filter in it. It also has 2 hang in the back filters. And the reason why I do that is because there's nothing better than your tank being over filtered, especially with a sponge filter that just works amazingly for all kind of situations. You know, the tanks, if you need to set up a tank really quickly, you can take the sponge filter out of this tank, put it into another tank, and it, you know, automatically cycles the tank. If you want to set up a tank just quickly, you know, you want to throw some fish in it, like, you know, sponge filters really come in handy. And I feel like every video that I make is always about, hey, get a sponge filter. So if you have any questions about my figure eight puffers or my green spotted puffers that you feel like I didn't answer in any of my videos, then please comment below. All right, let's go wake up our Amazon puffers. Now, the one thing about Amazon puffers is that they are going to glass surf. They've not stopped since I bought these fish. And, you know, for me, it's normal. It doesn't really get on my nerves. But there are some people who have Amazon fish and they're like, oh my gosh, they won't stop surfing the glass. Yeah, I know, it's annoying. But, you know, maybe play with them a little bit more. Or maybe, you know, every once in a while, redecorate their tank. I actually do need to do a video on just redecorating tanks here, and I may do that video shortly. If you do want me to do something like that, comment below and it will encourage me to make a video like that. All right, so these are my Amazon puffers. Temperature is the same as my other puffers, my figure eights, my green spotted, and my Fahaka puffer, around 82 to 83 degrees. And they tend to enjoy that. They also tend to eat a lot. You know, these guys love food. I've tried to feed them, you know, things that will trim down their beak, like clamshells, half clamshells, crabs, and things like that. The fiddler crabs just weren't really, it was kind of like a hit and miss, because either they would attack it and then like kill it and then like eat it 2 days later or something like that, or they would just kind of just let it escape out of the tank. And then I would find it on the floor or on a log at the top of the aquarium, and it was just like, oh, okay, well, I see what you're doing here. But you do want to try to make sure that you are in some way trimming their beak trimming their teeth. And I did create a video here that you can check out, one of my other methods to keep their beaks trimmed, so make sure you check out that video as well. Alright, so they allow Mr. Goldfish here to stay in the aquarium with them. I mean, he has been ride or die for the last, I would say, a year or so. He's been with them, probably longer than that, at least 2 years, I'll say. He's been in the tank with them, and they let him do whatever he wants. And they let him eat their food and, you know, run the tank a little bit. Some of these guys are going to eventually need to have their beaks trimmed. And that'll be another video whenever we get to that. But for now, just Google if you do need to, you know, trim down your Amazon puffers or any of your puffers' teeth. There are some YouTube videos on here that has that information and has that walkthrough as to how to do that. So just Google how to trim your puffers' teeth, and I'm sure a whole bunch of videos will come to you, and you'll be able to click on those videos and watch how to do it. Me, I'm just trying to avoid that situation at all costs. Alright, so these guys really are adventurous. They'll come right up to the glass and they'll say hello once they get to know you, and once they realize like you're the person who's feeding them. They will definitely entertain you and give you so much attention that it's insane. These guys are so much fun to watch, and a lot of times I've just spent like 10 minutes or so just kind of, you know, watching my things just to see their behavior, which is kind of what you want to do. But ultimately these guys are really easy to take care of, especially like if you have great water quality. And that's kind of with all of your fish, is that all of these fish need water quality that's like superb, you know. And that probably means, you know, in most cases every week, every 2 weeks. A lot of times I'll add plants into my aquariums so that they act as a form of oxygen for the fish. But that still doesn't mean that I'm not going to at least do a 20% water change at least every 2 weeks. So just make sure, you know, with all of your fish, especially the Amazon puffers, because they don't have scales and they can't fight off like the bacteria that, you know, say for instance cichlids can fight off. You have to make sure that you are staying on top of those water changes. Alright, so this next puffer that we're gonna go and see might not be so easy to find, but we are gonna go try it out anyway. So we are gonna say bye-bye to our Amazon puffers for now, until the next video. Well, look who we found this morning. This is our little pea puffer, and I didn't think it was going to be this easy to find him, but you know, there he is. Little eyes, he's wandering around. I'm sure he's not going to be out for long, as he is, looks like he's got some grub going on. So this is our pea puffer. There are a ton of videos that I've done, or not a ton, maybe just 2 or so, that I've done on the pea puffer. And like I mentioned in those videos, these guys are just not easy to film just because they're so tiny, and they rarely come out and play unless you like make a lot of noise or tap the screen or something like that. But these guys are so cute. Now in this tank, this is a 5-gallon, and this is the only one that's in this tank. His belly looks huge, so that lets me know that he's finding something to eat and that he is good to go. I have been keeping some snails in here, some nuisance snails, and hopefully that's what he's been eating. But it seems like he's doing well. He's thriving, and he's showing himself, which is always a great sign. Underneath this filter, right? So you can't even like see him really. So if it's a little blurry, I do apologize for that, but these guys are tiny, tiny, tiny. But the temperature in this tank is around 74, 75 degrees. So not, you know, quite like the other puffer fish as far as temperature wise, but you know, it's still comfortable for them. Now these guys do not require a lot of attention. I just kind of let them be. This is the first one I've ever had, and so far so good. Alright, so we lost him. Alright, that's normally how it goes. He kind of shows himself for a little while, and you know, poof, I'm gone. Well, hopefully you were able to take something away from this video. If so, comment below. Let me know what you learned. Did you enjoy seeing all of my puffer fish? Well, if you stuck around for this long, you are in for a treat. It's time to do a feeding. Well, again, thank you so much for your support, your likes, and your comments with this page. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I'm Jamal, and you've been watching another episode of Growing Up Fish.